Hello, everybody, and welcome to the August update for the Academy Awards predictions, the 91st Annual Academy Awards. But before we get into these predictions, we need to address something. The Academy made an announcement over Twitter, and I'll pull it up right now. They announced three things that were going to change in the Oscars. So the first thing is that they're planning a more globally accessible 3-hour telecast, which promises, Academy. I mean, I'm open to it, just you need to find right ways to trim down the time. Don't cut out certain categories and announce them later because, costume designers and sound mixers, they deserve their place in the sun too. Don't do that. Honestly, just do the telecast without commercials. Like, that's what I've been saying for years, and they don't listen. The other thing that they changed, they've set an earlier date for 2020, February 9th. Okay, fair enough. I don't know when the nominations are going to be announced, but hopefully Oscar voters still have time to see all the movies and get excited about the nominees. But then we have this third announcement, and literally the best possible way to sum up my thoughts on this announcement is to just play this clip.
You have invented a new kind of stupid, a damage you can never undo kind of stupid, and open all the cages in the zoo kind of stupid. Truly, you didn't think this through kind of stupid.
Okay, so let's talk about this. I'm just going to read what is said in the tweet. A new category is being designed around achievement in popular film. Okay, now let's let that sink in. Because at first you might think, well, so what? They want more ratings. In fact, people have been suggesting a sort of thing. Have a category for blockbusters. But they're not phrasing it as a blockbuster category. They're phrasing it for popular film category. Which is an unbelievably stupid thing to do. Because, yeah, it'll get more ratings, but if you just announce, hey, we're having a special category for popular films, does that mean that the movies you have in the Best Picture category are not popular films? And here's the thing. Recently, the Academy has been getting better. They've nominated movies like Get Out or Mad Max Fury Road, like Inception. Occasionally, they do nominate popular films, and this year, Black Panther really looks like it has a serious chance to get nominated. And why would you? I mean, it just feels like such a way, like if Black Panther, obviously it's not going to win Best Picture if it's just going to win Best Popular Film, either Black Panther or Infinity War, I imagine. And so, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, it's nothing more than deliberate pandering to people who don't like the Oscars to try and get the viewerships to go up. But I just can't comprehend this. It is just a monumentally stupid decision. And it's ultimately what it's going to do is it's going to devalue both Best Picture and this new category for Best Popular Film, or whatever they decide to call it. I mean, we've had 24 categories at the Oscars for, I think, a very long time. Certainly, maybe 1999 was the last year we had an extra category, and that was when they divided the original score category, which was also a really stupid thing to do. But I don't know. Like, we've had 24 for a while, and 25, that's just going to mess up my predictions. Here's the thing. In this Oscar prediction video, I am not going to put a category for Best Popular Film. I refuse to do that category. Honestly, if you want to predict it, just go to Box Office Mojo, go to Wikipedia, look up the most successful movies of 2017, just put those in. Just put the first 5 in. It's probably, in fact, I'm actually just going to, off the top of my head, go to Box Office Mojo right now. Okay. What are the top grossing movies of 2018? Black Panther, Avengers Infinity War, Incredibles 2, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, Deadpool 2. And by the time the Oscars pull out, let's just replace Deadpool 2 with Mary Poppins Returns. And maybe Aquaman gets in there. Like, that is your category. It's stupid. It's really, really stupid. An animated film gets in, hooray, but it's not in the real Best Picture category. It's just pandering. You're just trying to make us feel like we're justified. I've complained about the animated feature category for a long time, but this is just really, it really is more of an insult than anything else. And the reason I'm not going to officially put predictions in is because I honestly think they're going to get rid of this category and they're not actually going to do it. Like, they're going to see the insane amount of negativity already and they're just going to cancel it. Like, I mean, or they'll do it for 1 year and then they won't do it again because they'll realize what a mistake it was. Like, it is, like I've said this before, but it would be monumentally stupid for them to even attempt this. Seriously. So, with that out of the way, let's get to the actual predictions now. Sorry about that rant, but I had to get it all out. So let's begin with a real category at the Oscars, Best Documentary Feature. Now, just like last time, I'm going to show these, this clip art, not clip art, chart, that was the thing I was thinking of, chart. I'm going to show you this chart that I made. I'm sorry, I'm tired. I've literally been working on these all day, and it can get pretty tiring to work on these charts. So, just to let you know, I'm probably not going to go in depth with a lot of them. I'm probably just going to put the chart on the screen, and you can pause it. Honestly, you can just pause it. So, yeah, I still think Won't You Be My Neighbor is going to win. I moved up and down on a few things, but really I have no real way of knowing what's going to be successful and what's not. It's entirely guesswork. So, yeah, the nominees change a bit. It's funny because you get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, but really all that interested, the only thing that matters is the 5 and the 6, because that can be so difficult when you're working on it. It's like, which one do I put at 5 and which one do I put at 6? Because it's one decimal away, but it's the difference between getting nominated and not getting nominated. And I'll talk about this later on, but there are a few films that, like, I realized I didn't have nominated in as many places as I thought I did. I actually kept a tally this time. I don't think I'm going to show it, but I kept the tally separate from this so I can keep track of it. So, yeah, these nominees for Best Documentary probably are not going to be accurate, but they're the best I can come up with for now. Next category is Best Foreign Language Film, and this is a new one. I was going to do this last month, but I wasn't able to find enough foreign films. Now I have somewhat of a list. Do not expect this list to be accurate. Roma, I know that is an Alfonso Cuarón movie, so it might be a bigger contender in Best Picture. I think I just put it for foreign language film and maybe screenplay, but I don't know what it's going to do. We'll have to wait and see it. It looks interesting. It's a Mexican film, black and white. It might be good. We'll wait and see. And then Cold War Dogman, these are just, some of them I based on the synopsis, and some of them I based on the country that it's from, because certain countries get in more than others. Italy has the all-time record. They always get in. I don't know, actually they don't always get in, but they get in more times than any other country. So I put Dogman there. Some of these countries have not officially submitted a film yet, so we're just speculating on what movies will be submitted. Also, And Breathe Normally. I picked that one because I like the synopsis for it, but it's going to be kind of weird if we have an Oscar nominee. I mean, I'm just overall in a list where the first word of the title is and. I mean, especially if it's alphabetical and you're listing it first. Our nominees are And Breathe Normally, Cold War, like, what? Or especially if it's not listed. Nominees are Dogman and Cold War and Breathe Normally. It's weird. I find it weird. I have not seen the movie. I'm sure it's great. I'm sure the filmmakers had a very good reason for choosing that title, but yeah, I don't know. Just observation I'm making. Okay, Best Animated Feature. Not a whole lot has changed here. I'm going to try to have faith in Spider-Man. Oh, also, Smallfoot is new because I saw the trailer for that. And that looks like it's going to be cute. I don't know if it's just me, but that looks like it's going to be a totally enjoyable, not great, not Disney Pixar quality, but something along the lines of Ferdinand, where you watch and go, oh, that was cute. That'll keep your kids entertained. I don't know. I saw the trailer, like, I'll watch that. And also, I've listened to the original song more times than I care to admit, and I think I have good faith in that, an original song. And I feel that there's probably going to be a indie 2D animated film that gets on, because there always is. I just don't know which one I should be rooting for. Like, I have a few of them: Mirai, Big Fish and Begonia, Lou Over the Wall, Fireworks. I'm sure one or two of them will get on. I just don't know which one or two. And as for the winner, I have Incredibles 2 right now, but I don't know if that's going to actually happen. We'll see. Isle of Dogs, I feel like that one just came and went, but I haven't seen it. I need to see that one. I also need to see Early Man. So, moving on. Is it weird that I'm a little bit more excited to see Smallfoot than I am Isle of Dogs? That's probably weird. Okay, best sound mixing. Not a whole lot changed here. You will notice that I put Operation Finale down in quite a few places. I still have it predicted for a number of things, but I'm a little unsure because that movie is going to come out this month, and I have not seen it yet. I don't think anyone's seen it yet. I don't think it has a rating on Rotten Tomatoes yet, but this is the month where we're going to find out if that hunch I had at the beginning of the year was right, because it seems like such an obvious Oscar player, but maybe it's too obvious. Maybe it's too in-your-face failed Oscar bait. And I don't know. The trailer does look legitimately promising to me. So, I'll see it, and everyone else will see it, and we'll decide whether or not this is going to be a real Oscar player. Outside of that, I don't think there's much else to add for this category. If Beale Street Could Talk, that's on. That got a trailer. That looks very, very Oscar. It's going to get a bunch of nominations, I'm sure. Okay, next up, Best Sound Editing. So this one, I now have Black Panther as the winner. I don't know if that's going to happen. The tricky thing with Black Panther is you do realize if they go ahead with their Best Popular Film category, then Black Panther is not going to get a nomination for Best Picture. And that's a shame. And I feel that they should just scrap that category. Hopefully they do. I didn't bother to do a prediction for it. It just feels so weird to have a new Oscar category. And if you're going to have a new Oscar category, have one for, like, Best Ensemble Cast or Best First Film. Like, that's something I could get behind rewarding. But, I don't know, this just doesn't work to me. Mission Impossible Fallout. I am predicting that, I think, for both sound categories, because I've heard very good things about it, and I feel that it's getting good reviews, and the sound categories would be a great way to award it, I think. I think it might get on in one or both of them. Keep an eye out on that. Okay, next category is Best Original Song. Now, we've actually gotten to hear a few original songs, and at least we're getting some titles for a few, like Boy Erased, that's getting original song Revelation. I'll talk more about that film in the later categories, but looking forward to that one. Finally Free, I've listened to that one a couple times. Sounds really good. I legitimately really like that song. And I think maybe that could be this year's Can't Stop the Feeling of this, that the animated film doesn't get on, but the song does. Okay, and also we know the name of at least one of the songs in A Star Is Born, The Shallow. Make of that what you will. And beyond that, I just don't know. I don't know if Ashes is going to get on. I think it's going to be tight. Also, I listened to the original song from Christopher Robin, and ooh, yeah, that's not getting on. It seemed like the kind of film that would have a good Oscar baity song, but the one that they have is just, is really cheesy. But they've nominated cheesy stuff before. They nominated Happy Working Song from Enchanted, so it's not completely out of the question, but I'm not predicting it. And Happy Time Motors, I think that's just ridiculous. And I have I Believe from Wrinkle in Time just because I don't know what else to put there. Okay, I know there's a song from Tomb Raider, but I don't think that's getting on. Okay, I have to keep these somewhat realistic. Next category. Best Original Score. Okay, this, I didn't change much. I added Widows. I don't really know what else to say. And there's my one obligatory mistake. After going through this thing for a whole day, there's my mistake. I put Mary Queen of Scots for both of them. So number 9 is supposed to be Everybody Knows, the Penelope Cruz Javier Bardem film. Like, that's the one mistake that I make, and I'm guaranteed to make at least one, even though I spend a whole day on these. Okay, let's just move past this category. Next up is Best Visual Effects. Now, we really don't know on this one, which is funny because most of these movies are out, but the ones that aren't out, we don't know. First Man, I assume, is going to be a nominee. Venom, the trailer looked interesting. That could be a contender. Mary Poppins Returns, we've seen very little of that. Rampage. I put Rampage on because I saw a comment on the last video that says, I think Rampage could have a shot. And looking at it, it's not completely out of the question. It feels like last year they nominated Kong Skull Island. Sometimes they nominate out-of-nowhere films. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think if Rampage did get nominated, it would be the first time that a video game movie received an Oscar nomination. So that's awesome. I'm someone always trying to strive for a better video game movie, so maybe that could work. Also, the picture that I chose for Rampage, I saw this cute picture of the giant wolf monster looking at a dog, and that could be... I have not seen Rampage yet, but if it gets nominated, I certainly will, and that will be a great day, because I'm in my From Pixels to Pictures series. It's like, finally, we got to a video game movie that was Oscar nominated. But I digress. Obviously, a ton of subpar films have been nominated for Oscars in tech categories before. Remember Click. So it doesn't prove anything, but keep an eye out on Rampage. It's not impossible. Next category is Best Makeup. And I added a new... I've had the same 6 films for a while, but I just added a new one, and that is Aquaman. And for some reason, I included the black lines around that. I should really change that. But yeah, it's every time I do an Oscar prediction article, I get a little bit better, but I always make at least one mistake. That's the thing. And even as I'm recording it, in the back of my mind, I'm going, should I go back and edit it so that the mistake is not visible? And but then the other part of me is like, oh, I've been working on this long enough. Let's just get the video out there. So I work hard, but I can also be lazy at times. Yeah. Anyway, I don't think there's too much to say for this category. I think it's pretty much just what you see is what you get. The Aquaman trailer looked good. Who knows? Maybe that could be a nominee. And the DCEU, they've already got a Best Makeup win for Suicide Squad, so they can just rub it in the face again. Haha, the Oscars love us. Marvel's like, what more do you want us to do? Well, Marvel does have Black Panther, so maybe that could be a contender this year. Or maybe not, because of that Best Popular Film category, which I really don't think is going to move on. And I'm just rambling in circles right now, and I apologize, but that's just how my mind works sometimes. Next category, Best Costume Design. So, like always, Mary Poppins Returns and Mary Queen of Scots, those are the top 2. I think those have been the top 2 since the very beginning. I think it's very, very unlikely that either one will miss on the day. Also, The Favorite, the new movie by Yorgos Lanthimos. I didn't see the trailer for that, but it might be promising. Also, side note, that new show with the Netflix miniseries with Jonah Hill and Emma Stone, that looks really good. Maniac, it's called. Check out the trailer for that. That's good. But that's just what I thought of because I saw Emma Stone. While I'm rambling, there's a scene in that trailer where Emma Stone has braids and long hair, and she's got a warrior outfit, and she's got a bow, and she looks exactly like Aloy from Horizon Zero Dawn. And I'm moving on at this point. I don't think there's much else left to say. I don't know. Do you like my ramblings? I don't know. Maybe you do. Say in the comments. I know the Oscar prediction articles are the most watched for some reason. I wish some of those people would watch From Pixels to Pictures because they put a lot of work into that series too. And the next video is coming too. And I don't know what's up with me today. I do not usually ramble this long, but I'm just in a rambling mood. I don't know. The Nutcracker and the Four Realms, I think that could very easily get nominated. The trailer looks interesting. And aside from that, there's not much else to say. So, also, I have very little hope. I have very little faith in the man who killed Don Quixote at this point. So, and didn't I say I was going to try and keep this short and simple? I don't know where all this rambling is coming from. Okay, let's just try to speed through these next two categories. Okay, next one, Best Production Design. Yeah, I'm afraid to open my mouth at this point. Yeah, pretty much this. The Favorite, Nutcracker, and Welcome to Marwen are now added. I don't know. Also, Black Panther is not nominated for as many categories as I once had it in. I sort of took it out of all but the bare essentials because I'm not sure just how that movie is going to do. I'm very torn, especially now with the new announcement, but we'll see what happens. Next category is Best Cinematography. We got a trailer for If Beale Street Could Talk. I said that already, I know, but it does look very, very Oscar-friendly, and the cinematography, I think, should get nominated. Peterloo, I don't know if I mentioned that one, but that is the Mike Leigh movie. I think that's definitely going to get a lot of love. I've never been a big fan of Mike Leigh myself, but they tend to nominate him a lot. Especially his last film, Mr. Turner, got like 4 nominations, and I think I might be predicting this to get the same 4, the more I think about it. Score, costumes, production design, cinematography. Is that it? Okay, also, I'm moving Operations Finale down. Hereditary is joining the club. Not much else to say. First Man is in top. I think I tallied it all up, but First Man has 12 nominations, so at least in this, so it feels like the one's going to get a lot of nominations. Okay, next category. Best Film Editing. Film Editing. I wasn't sure. It took me a while to load that up. Yeah, this one went through a bit of a revitalization. I still have the top 3, but Widows and Backseat I think are going to be contenders. And we don't know about the rest. Beautiful Boy and Boy Erased, I keep getting those two confused, but for the longest time I thought Beautiful Boy was going to be the better, more well-received film, and now I'm starting to think that Boy Erased could be it. But I don't know, I think they both could do well. I think there's a universe where they both do decently well. Moving on, let's move up a bit to Best Adapted Screenplay. This is by far the most crowded category of the ceremony. In the past couple years, adapted screenplay was not super crowded, and now it is just, you can just pick and choose any one of those 5, and you have a solid lineup. I think Boy Erased could do very well, judging from that trailer. And I don't know really what else to say about that. Let's just move on to Original Screenplay. Original Screenplay, not as strong, you will notice. I'm including Roma, the Alfonso Cuarón movie. I think that could possibly be nominated. Because in weak years, you sometimes do see foreign films get on, like Separation that got on in 2011. Sorry to Bother You, I almost had that as a nominee because that is getting very rave reviews. But we'll see what happens. I don't know if it's going to be remembered. There's a lot of early films that you just don't know if they're going to get remembered. So it's pick and choose what gets remembered and what doesn't. Next category, Best Supporting Actress. So, yeah, I'm keeping Amy Adams at number 1, and Nicole Kidman just shot up to the number 2 position. That trailer did wonders for her. Every second she is on screen in that trailer just screams Academy Award nominee. Really looks like something the Oscars going to go for. And then Margot Robbie, Claire Foy, and Jennifer L. I edged out Regina King. I'm not sure. Jennifer L. could also get taken out because I don't know if I have Cameron Post nominated for anything else, but I don't know. It feels good to represent the film somewhere. Millicent Simmons, I keep banging on the Millicent Simmons bandwagon because she's the best performance I've seen so far this year, but I understand that people do not share that opinion. Hopefully more people do because it's an amazing performance and that actress needs to get more work. So let's just keep nominating her for stuff. Okay, next, Olivia Colman I also have there, because she's doing The Crown and she's going to get more buzz off of that, so maybe The Favourite could be something. I'm not looking forward to that movie myself because I was not a big fan of The Lobster. I did not enjoy that movie at all. Best Supporting Actor, I don't know what else there really is to say. Ben Kingsley, his role looks super meaty on paper, so seriously keep an eye out for that. Sam Elliott, people say his role is Beatty, and the movie looks like it's going to be a big deal, so keep an eye out on that. Russell Crowe. I feel that Russell Crowe could do something. I know he was sort of the laughingstock of Les Mis when that movie came out, but maybe his role in Boy Erased is going to be a good one. And yeah, I don't know if Timothée Chalamet is going to be the winner. I feel that he's probably unlikely to win. Sam Rockwell, I've heard various things about his performance. Someone said that he is it's more of an impression than a performance, which could very easily hurt him. But I don't know. We'll see. I mean, people on SNL win awards for impersonating politicians. Yeah, it's funny because George W. Bush used to be the guy to make fun of in politics, and now we all look back on him with like why can't we have that guy anymore? Why can't we live in a world where we thought that was the stupidest president ever? Okay, if I'm alienating you, I'm sorry. It's just well, I'm just gonna move on to best lead actress, and this is another category that is super tight. But I feel I am happy with the top 5. Not just because it has 2 women of color in it. I don't think we've ever seen a Best Actress lineup that looks like that. I could be wrong, but Lady Gaga. I think the Academy really wants to get good ratings. Have Lady Gaga win Best Actress. That is just gonna be a big crowd pleaser. I think that's definitely gonna work. I can't imagine like if they actually do the best popular film thing. It's a really stupid move. But if people do turn up and the Academy is like, yes, we were right to have this category, I really hope that they don't do that. It's just, I know you don't get the most ratings, but I'm sorry, I'll watch it every time. It's not really about ratings. Like not everything is about ratings. Kiki Lane, she looked good in the trailer. Role is meaty on paper. Saoirse Ronan. I had her number 1 for a long time, but I'm starting to think maybe Gaga could do it. I have not seen the performance, but she is unrecognizable in that trailer. And maybe she could like really blow everybody away. I feel that it's totally feasible that she could win. But then again, Glenn Close, from what I've seen of The Wife, it looks like that movie is pretty much just built for her to have a vehicle to win an Oscar. And maybe she could pull it off. Or maybe she couldn't. Like, I've heard that in real life, Glenn Close is not the most nice person out there. But still, it's totally possible that that the Academy can be like, oh, we haven't gotten around to giving Glenn Close an Oscar yet? Okay, we can do that this year. Like Saoirse Ronan, she hasn't won yet either, but she's young. She's got time. Glenn Close does not have as much time. Also, keep an eye on Melissa McCarthy. She's just waiting to etch in there and being like, I'm doing a drama, guys. I'm proving I can do a serious actress. And anyone who saw St. Vincent knows that she actually can be serious when the situation calls for it. So, also keep an eye on Elsie Fisher. And Toni Collette, I've heard very good things about that performance, so don't count her out just yet. Okay, next up is Best Actor. Ryan Gosling. I have him winning right now. I don't know if that's actually going to happen, but I am really happy with my top 5. Gosling, Carell, Bale, Cooper. I saw just a picture of Willem Dafoe as Van Gogh, and I was like, boom, he's getting nominated. I was very hesitant to predict him until I saw a photo of him in the role, and it's just, wow. Like, he looks amazing. He is so getting nominated. But I feel bad for Lucas Hedges, well, almost, because I hear he's not the nicest person either. But he's headlining a movie that's going to be a big Oscar player, judging from that incredible trailer. And also John David Washington, I've heard some very good things about his performance. And Rami Malek, too, he looks interesting. Yeah, maybe this could be like the last chance to give Robert Redford a nomination, Roy Kinnear. A lot of talented men in this lineup. So I don't really know what's going to happen, but keep your eye on this lineup. It could go in a number of different directions. Best Director. Just take a second to sit back and realize that we have 4 African American directors on this list who all have a totally legitimate chance of getting nominated. That is amazing. This race that's the crazy thing about this Oscar race, is that it's shaping up to be a rematch between Damien Chazelle and Barry Jenkins, and we don't know what's going to happen. Secretly, I'm hoping that Jenkins wins director and First Man wins picture, so they both get what they missed last time. And Hosey Rourke, I took off Desiree Akhavan of. I took the director of Miseducation of Cameron Post, took that off, but we also have another woman director this year, Mary Queen of Scots. It's great that we're getting more and more diversity. That said, we also have 2 actors turned directors in the lineup, Bradley Cooper and Joel Edgerton. There's also Jonah Hill making a movie this year, and Paul Dano's doing another one, so it's really good that more actors are turning directors. And sometimes they don't always work, but sometimes they do. We'll see what happens with these upcoming movies. So that's that, and that finally leads us to Best Picture of the Year. Now, I don't know, I'm just going to say that the top 10 are my prediction, but it'll probably be 9 or 8 because it always is 9 or 8. So, Black Panther, is that going to get on? I think it is totally 100% dependent on whether or not the Best Popular Film category actually comes into fruition. If that category does exist, then Black Panther is not getting nominated for Best Picture. If it doesn't exist, then Black Panther is getting nominated for Best Picture. So, Black Panther, they better cross their fingers and hope that that category doesn't actually come into fruition. Because they can be like, look, Marvel has an Oscar, but it's just a blatant way to get people to watch Oscars to vote. Even if you, I'm sorry, I recorded the earlier bit of the video in advance, so I'm probably repeating myself here. But even if you don't follow the Oscars on a regular basis, even if you're just a casual moviegoer, I think you should still be able to figure out what's wrong with this category. That it's obviously just blatant trying to get more viewers. So, Boy Erased, that just was not part of the conversation at all, and now it's brand new. Miseducation of Cameron Post. One of the reasons that I have that so low now is because there was an interview that Chloe Moretz gave where she they were talking about Cameron Post versus Boy Erased and how both of them are films about teenagers and gay conversion therapy. And Moretz slammed Boy Erased, saying that you can't, basically that, well, our movie actually has an LGBT director. And it is a very complicated issue nowadays with what directors are allowed to tell different stories. But there's no reason why, I haven't seen either film yet, so we'll wait to see on the actual quality. But don't slam Boy Erased like that. A more appropriate response would have been, well, it's 2 films about the same subject matter, let's just coexist. And we didn't have movies about this, so it's an important issue, so I support both movies. And that would have been the appropriate answer, but she had to be like, no, I don't know. I haven't met Chloe Moretz. I don't know what she's like in real life. So yeah, that's basically it. Oh, also, Black Klansman. I have that predicted for Best Picture, even though I don't have it predicted getting nominated anywhere else. So that could be a problem. But then again, we are, I think in our modern society, we may be due for a Best Picture nominee that didn't get anything else. We saw that with The Post last year. Well, that got Picture and Actress. And the actress nomination was a token Streep nomination. And then 2009, we had 2 movies, The Blind Side and District 9. No, not District 9. A Serious Man that only got Best Picture and 1 other nomination. So maybe we're due for a Best Picture nominee that gets nominated for a picture and nothing else. It could happen. So, those are my predictions, and thank you guys so much for watching. And I will see you next time. Bye. Take care.